Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about making good decisions in Fortnite. I'm going to talk about common decisions that get you killed and the kinds of decisions you should be making in order to set yourself up for a win. The first thing I'll talk about is the importance of applying all the tricks you've learned. In my previous videos I talked about practicing game mechanics like building, aiming, and movement. A lot of players practice these mechanics every day, but once they join a real game, it seems like they forget how to do things like 90-degree turns, quick edits, or any of the other tricks they've practiced. Many players seem to perform way better in creative mode build battles than in real games, and I think this comes down to nerves and experience. When you know you could be sent back to the lobby, you might not try to pull off risky plays in a real game. To remedy this, try to start using everything you know in every fight. Do 90s and edit down even if you've already established high ground. Try pyramid sidesteps even when your enemy isn't peeking. Even if the tricks aren't necessary, it's good to practice them under pressure. By using new tricks often, you'll gain confidence in fights and you'll quickly learn how to use each trick to your advantage in different situations. Lately, I've been trying to use this pyramid sidestep variation in real fights. If you can do it consistently, it's one of the best ways to surprise a player and retake high ground. The second bad decision I see players make is not moving or building when they have the chance. A great example of this is the high ground warrior. A lot of players will take high ground and then just sit there. Without pressure from different angles, the low ground player has the freedom to take control of structures and turn the tide of the fight. If you have the materials, try to constantly move and build even if you have high ground. The more you move, the more likely you are to catch your opponent off guard from a new angle. By building while moving, even if it seems unnecessary, you gain more control in a fight with increased edit opportunities. While moving and building in fights is a good decision, it also often helps to be slow and sneaky before starting a fight. In squad fights, for example, don't shoot right away if you don't have to. Communicate with your teammates and shoot together. Crouch walking is very quiet and will often surprise your enemies. If you know your opponent is distracted, there's no need to rush. Take your time and line up a headshot. While taking your time is helpful against distracted enemies, it also works in direct one-on-one fights. In many situations, you can be sure that your opponent will spray down your buildings. Use this knowledge to set up and shoot back when you get the chance. When you see a player in a box with their pencil out, instead of spraying their walls, try to anticipate their edit and shoot them once they confirm the edit. In general, it can often pay off to wait until your opponent makes a play and react accordingly. Just make sure to have a backup plan, since being patient can give an enemy the upper hand. In a game like PUBG, giving away your location is super dangerous. But in Fortnite, you don't have to worry about all of Pachinki converging on your location after you take a risky shot. If a third party chases you, you can build and use mobility items to escape and survive. What I'm trying to say here is, if you have health and materials, and you find a chance to shoot, take the shot. It doesn't matter if it hits or not, because as Abraham Lincoln once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The more you practice these difficult shots, the more often you'll be pleasantly surprised. Taking low percentage shots is even more important right now in Season 7. Airplanes seem like they're here to stay, so we've got to learn how to counter them. One big mistake I see is players shooting planes, not the pilots. It isn't much more difficult to shoot a pilot, but it applies much more pressure if you land the shots. When you fly a plane yourself, practice shooting your AR from the passenger seat. This is safer and more accurate than strafing runs with the plane turret. When you do use the plane turret, switch seats and spray your AR after passing your target. This catches most players off guard and can give you a free kill. Eventually, you should be able to shoot other pilots from your plane's passenger seats. This is a great way to practice your tracking aim, and it's also just really fun. A lot of people have been defending the hand cannon lately, claiming that it's not that good. Personally, I believe that while it isn't too overpowered, the hand cannon is the single strongest weapon in the game. It reloads fast, deals ridiculous damage at all ranges, it has good close-range hipfire accuracy, and it destroys buildings instantly. If you see one, pick it up. It has a slow rate of fire, and that teaches you to be more precise and deliberate with your aim, while encouraging skillful weapon swaps mid-fight. Even if it dealt 0 damage, I'd still pick it up for its utility in destroying buildings. If you are more comfortable in mid-range fights, use the hand cannon instead of an SMG. If you tend to rush into close range fights, use a hand cannon instead of an assault rifle. My last tip is self-explanatory, but I still see a lot of players struggling with it. If you land shots on an enemy, you have a health advantage, and you should be pressuring for the kill. It's okay to drop from high ground and chase a kill. If you're getting spammed with rockets, your advantage is in close range where splash damage makes using explosives risky. In this situation, I had just taken rocket damage, so I knew the player would aggressively push to finish me off. Instead of retreating, I kept building defensively, baiting him into close range. If you don't have a shotgun, force the fight into mid-range to balance the playing field. If you have a grappler, use it. If you can't outbuild your opponent, climb down and knock his buildings out from under him. If the safe zone is closing far away from you, avoid fights and push for safety. Players being pushed by the storm have a huge disadvantage. Their movement is predictable and they often panic trying to get inside the safe zone. Capitalize on this and shoot at them every chance you get. Overall, no matter how confident you feel, try to identify your advantage and make your plays accordingly. As you make more smart plays, you'll perform better and you'll find yourself more capable of making the stupid plays that make this game so much fun to play. I hope this video gave you guys some ideas about strategy. I know I covered some obvious broad topics, but I really think it helps to actively think about these things when you're trying to improve. If you'd like to see all the mistakes I make in between the clips in this video, or if you'd like to ask questions in real time, check out my Twitch channel. Otherwise, stick around for weekly tutorial videos on this channel. Thank you guys for watching and Happy New Year!